Good morning, F1. This is your story time for your first activity today. Now, seeing as it's such a beautiful day today, I thought I would record my story time outside. So you might hear lots of noises in the background of different things that you can hear from outside. So I think I can hear some birds in the trees, and I can definitely hear some cars in the road as well. So you might hear some noises through my story time. But I thought it was just too lovely outside to stay indoors, so I thought I'd come and record my story outside. So the story that we're going to have today is called Jasper's Beanstalk. Now, some of you might have heard this one before, and because we're learning all about planting and growing, I thought this was a brilliant story for us to listen to because Jasper is going to plant something in this story. Now, it might give you a clue in the name, Jasper's Beanstalk. I wonder what he's going to plant in the ground in this story. So I've got some props for our story today, so that's very exciting. So I've got those down here. So I'm going to be showing you some props as we go along. Okay, here we are. Right then, let's begin. Jasper's Beanstalk. Okay. On Monday, Jasper found a bean. There it is. Oh, pointing in the wrong place. Can you see it? There's Jasper's bean. He's found a bean. Oh, I wonder what he's going to do with that bean. Let's see. On Tuesday, he planted it. Can you see where he's planting it? So he's using his spade. I've got a spade here. And he's digging into the dirt to plant his bean into the dirt. On Wednesday, he watered it. So he's using his watering can. He's going to water his bean, put some water on it, because we learnt in our lesson yesterday that beans and seeds need water to help them grow. So he's watering his bean. On Thursday, he dug and raked and sprayed and hoed it. So that means he used his spade, he dug, and he raked the top of the soil to see if it will grow. On Friday night, he picked up all the slugs and snails. So he's using his torch. His mum's got her torch here. He's going outside in the dark and he's looking for all of the slugs and the snails. Now, the reason he has to get rid of all the slugs and the snails, you might be able to guess, is because they're a bit greedy. And when you plant things in the soil, the slugs and the snails sometimes like to eat them. So we have to get rid of them all so they don't eat it, because if they eat it, it's not going to grow. So they have to get rid of the slugs and the snails. On Saturday, he even mowed it. So he's using his lawnmower. I'm not sure that's the right thing to use, but he's mowing over the top of his seed. He really wants it to grow, doesn't he? You see the little robin down here? Got a little robin here. Tweet, 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 tweet. On Sunday, Jasper waited and waited and waited. He stood there with his hose and he's waiting for something to happen. Can you guess what he's waiting for? I think he might be waiting for his seed to grow. Doesn't look like it is though. When Monday came round again, he dug it all up. Oh look, can you see he's digging up the seed out of the ground. Lots of things are flying out here. I think you can see a whoo, whoo. The worms are all flying out of the ground. Can you see them? Oh dear me. That bean will never make a beanstalk, said Jasper. Oh dear, doesn't he look so sad there? His bean, can you see, has flown out of the hole and it's tossed it across the mud. And he says, it's not going to grow, I give up. But a long, long, long time later, what's happened? It did! It was on a Thursday, I think. Oh my goodness me, can you see the beanstalk here has grown up past the window? That's how big it is. So Jasper dug up the seed out of the ground and he tossed it across the garden and it fell onto the soil and it must have got trodden into the soil. So eventually, when the sun came and the rain came down to water it, it must have grown. It took like quite a long time, but it did happen in the end. Now Jasper is looking for giants. Can you see him looking up the beanstalk? He's looking up and he's thinking, oh, I wonder what's up there. What do you think it might be? It's a big old beanstalk, isn't it? Oh, and that's the end of our story. So if we just try and remember what happened. So Jasper used his spade to dig into the ground and he planted the seed, the bean, into the ground, didn't he? And then he dug the dirt over and then he thought, oh, I better look after it now to see if I can make it grow. So he's hoed it, he's raked it, and he's dug down, and he even gave it some water to make sure it was nice and wet. And then he went outside, didn't he, with his torch, and he looked and he got rid of all the slugs and the snails, and it still didn't grow. And he thought, oh, this isn't working. So what he had to do is he just dug it all up and said, oh, I give up. I'm not going to bother with this bean anymore. It's not growing. And he threw it across the garden. And then what happened? It must have got trodden into the ground. And when he looked out of his window one day, the beanstalk had grown huge up into the sky. How amazing is that? Right then. So now you've listened to the story of Jasper's beanstalk. I would like you to go back to your activities and do your activities for today. Most of them are all about this story, so see if you can remember what happened in this story. I hope you all have a great day, enjoyed the story today, and I'll speak to you later. Bye bye.